Hello, today we're going to do our time elapse. We're going to learn how to do that, and we're going to convert our time first. Remember, we're going to do seconds to 60 seconds. There's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. Remember, when we go from big to little, we multiply, and we go from little to big, we divide. All right, so first we have 6 minutes and we need to get it to 60 seconds. So I'm going from big to little, 6 minutes, and I know there's 60 seconds in a minute, times 60. And when we're multiplying, take your 0 off. Since there's a 0 there, make it a little bit smaller. And we know 6 times 6 is 36. And then add your 0 back on. So there are 360 seconds in 6 minutes. The next one is 4 hours, and I need to know how many minutes are in 4 hours. So we're going to take 4 times 60 again, because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And again, take your 0 off and multiply 4 times 6, which is 24, and then add your 0 back. So then that makes, there's 240 minutes and 4 hours. Our next one is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and I need to know how many seconds there are in all. So we don't have to worry about our 30 seconds right now, we just have to worry about our 3 minutes. So we're going to multiply 3 times 60, take your 0 off, and multiply 3 times 6, which is 18. Then add your 0 back. So that's how many seconds are in 3 minutes. Now I need to add back on my 30 seconds. You get 210 seconds are in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. For our next one, we have 2 days, and I need to know how many hours are in 2 days. So we know there's 24 hours in 1 day. So in 2 days, I need to take 2 times 24, which you can do it 2 different ways to figure this out. We can multiply, or you can add 24 plus 24. And you still get 48 hours are in 2 days. All right, next we're going to complete this chart. It says there's the start time, an elapsed time, and a finish time. And we need to fill in the blanks that we see. So the first one is 3 p.m. is the start time. We need to figure out how many hours and minutes are in between 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. So we start with 3 p.m. and I'm going to add an hour till I get to 7:30. I'm going to add one more hour and I get 5 p.m. Oops. Add another hour. Now I'm at 6 p.m. Add one more hour and I'm at 7 p.m. Now we need to get to 30 minutes, or add 30 minutes to get to 7:30. So I'm going to write down MIN period, the abbreviation for minutes, and add it to my 7 o'clock to make 7:30. So now I have to go back and count how many hours and minutes there are. Well, let's count our hours first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hours and 30 minutes. So the time between 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. is 4 hours and 30 minutes. The next one, I don't have my start time. I know there's 2 hours and 10 minutes in between the two times, and my end time is 6:45 p.m. So for this one, I need to subtract. So I'm going to subtract an hour at a time and keep going. Well, I need to subtract 2 hours. So I'm going to subtract an hour from 6:45. That gives me 5:45 p.m. And then I'm going to subtract another hour. And that gives me 4:45 p.m. So now I got my hours done. I need to subtract my minutes. So I'm going to subtract 10 minutes from 4:45. And we know 45 is the minutes. So I'm going to simply just subtract 45 from 10, and I get 35. And it doesn't change my hour, just my minutes. So my start time is 4:35 p.m. All right, the last one down here. My start time is 5:35 p.m. I need to figure out how many hours and minutes are in between. And my end time or finish time is 11:50 p.m. So we're going to start with 5:35 p.m. and we're going to add our hours. If I add 1 hour, I get 6:35. Add another hour, I get 7:35. Remember, I'm trying to get to 11. I'm just doing the hours right now. Add another hour, and I get to 9:35 p.m. Another 10:35 p.m. Add one more hour. And now I'm at 11:35 p.m. So now I need to get 11:35 to 11:50. So I have to think, what am I going to add? So I'm going to start out and I'm going to add 5 so I can make this number, make my minutes end in a 0. So I'm just going to add 5 minutes right now. And I get 11:40 p.m. This makes it a little easier, and now I know to get from 40 to 50, I need to add 10 more. So I'm going to add 10 minutes and get 11:50 p.m. So now I have to go back and figure out my hours. So I need to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Now I'm going to add my minutes. 5 and 10 is 15 minutes. So there's that one. All right, we have one more. Our word problem says, Anna starts her day, whoops, typo, that's supposed to be her day at 4:30 a.m. If she goes to bed at 11 p.m., how many hours does she sleep? So if she is waking up at 4:30 a.m. and she is going to bed at 11, I want to know how much she's sleeping. So I'm going to start with 11 p.m. and I'm going to work my way to 4:30. So I'm going to start by adding my hours. So when I go from 11 p.m. and add an hour to 12, it's going to switch to a.m. because it's in the middle of the night. I'm going to add an hour, go to 1 a.m., add another hour to 2 a.m., Add one more hour. Now I'm at 3 a.m. Add another hour. Now I'm to 4 a.m. So now I have to add my minutes. I need to add 30 minutes to get to 4:30 a.m. So how many hours does Anna sleep? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours and 30 minutes. Which I do hope Anna gets a lot more hours than 5 hours and 30 minutes of sleep each night.